Create with UK is an AI and visual development conference that just held a successful second year near the end of May. And about a month before the event, conference co-founder and Bubble developer James decided to see if they could build a mobile companion app for attendees on Bubble.
We've all been kind of blown away at just how quickly it's come together and how quick we managed to get it on both of the big app stores. Been a bit of a whirlwind.
Bubble for native mobile is still in beta, but many developers like James are already publishing mobile apps that you can download from the app stores on your phone right now. In this series, we tour real Bubble apps with the developers who built them. Let's take a closer look at the Create With app with James.
Yeah, really excited to chat a little bit more about what we've been getting up to.
Could you just start maybe by introducing yourself real quick and how you found Bubble?
Yeah, so I'm James Devonport, and I've probably been building with Bubble for 6 or 7 years now. Yeah, I kind of came across it, because I've always been interested in learning how to build things without necessarily being able to write code super well myself. So I tried tons of tools over the years, and when I finally tried Bubble, I was like, wow, this one actually lives up to the hype, and you can build like really complex stuff with it. Been awesome to see the platform grow as well over the years.
Speaking of growing, we want to talk about your new mobile app. This is the Create With app that's for the Create With conference. Could you tell us a little bit more about that and why you wanted to build this app?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Create With conference, this is the second year we've been running it, and it's essentially an AI and visual development conference in the UK. So we started it out last year, and it was called No Code UK, and we kind of pivoted slightly a bit this year to go a bit more into AI. But essentially what it is this year it's going to spread over 2 days, but it's a ton of workshops, sessions, panels, primarily from people who've been there and done it and used kind of visual development and AI to build their businesses, come and explain how to do things. So we try and cover a vast different array of kind of abilities, right from people who've never maybe built an app before to more pro sessions where it's kind of getting deep into how to optimize things in Bubble, for example. But yeah, Bubble's one of our sponsors. They were last year for the first one, and again this year. And we have tons of Bubblers there, as well as people who are building with loads of other tools as well. So yeah, it's really fun. It's coming up soon.
What was the conversation like when you were planning the next year to decide that we'd like to involve, a mobile app built on Bubble to help our efforts?
Yeah, I mean, I think we probably never even thought last year it would be possible for us to launch an app into the iOS and Android app stores, because typically it's quite an expensive process, right? And it takes a long time. So it wasn't really until we saw that Bubble were introducing this native mobile functionality that we really thought it would even be possible to do it. And then even when we did realize it was possible, we didn't start working on it until probably a month and a bit before the conference. So it was quite tight to get it done. But yeah, we've all been kind of blown away at just how quickly it's come together and how quick we managed to get it approved and on both of the big app stores. So yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind.
That's really exciting to hear. Can we go ahead and start taking a look at the app if you want to share your screen?
Yeah. Should we kind of go into the editor?
Yeah, that would be great.
There's 3 of us behind Create With, and luckily 2 of us are kind of big Bubble enthusiasts. So this is the web UI here, and this is our main marketing site. So this done us a ton of different things, and Kieran from our team put this together along with Ash doing the design for it. And we started out on we kind of had our web presence on. We've tried a few different platforms. But when we started thinking about, we might use Bubble native mobile, we decided actually we're going to move our marketing site and everything to using Bubble. And we've been really happy with what we were able to achieve with the look and feel of it. Like, it looks exactly like we wanted it to. It's very branded. It's probably not what people think of a lot when they think of a Bubble site. Like, it's pretty we spent a lot of time doing it and design wise and everything. So yeah, we've and there is quite a bit to it, even apart from the homepage.
Yeah, absolutely. So the goal was to build a web and mobile app for this simultaneously?
Yeah, so I think our goal with this, and actually it's kind of ended up ballooning out, but we kind of wanted to build an entire operating system for the conference. So effectively writing our own software to run the whole
Wow.
thing. And as you see, as we get into it, everything is handled through Bubble. So like we've even connected it in with things like Kit, which manages all our email campaigns, Luma, which manages our ticketing. Next year, we think we'll even bring ticketing into Bubble as well fully. But yeah, effectively everything about the conference is run through this Bubble instance. So it's going to handle all the scheduling of all the talks, and you can see them on. There's a lovely web view for it, and it's also in the native mobile app. And it handles it's all consolidated into one thing. So it has actually made maintaining it much easier because it's all in one place.
Like you said, this is like visually stunning. It's very branded, very cohesive. Did you start with the designs for web and then translated them to mobile, to native mobile specifically? Or did you kind of work on both in tandem? What was that process like?
Yeah, the web was finished a long time before native mobile, and we actually approached the design of native mobile pretty differently to the web. We wanted it to feel more like a proper mobile app and not like a wrapped website. So we used a lot of the built-in Bubble native UI elements, so the stuff like sliding between screens, popovers, all that kind of stuff. So while the branding is similar, we actually wanted to have the app feel like its own thing and feel properly native.
Is there an example that you can show us of that kind of trying to capture a more unique UI feel for the mobile app?
Yeah, so if we dive into our mobile screen, so you can see we try to keep everything fairly organized with all of our web elements and all our web reusables, and then we've also got our mobile elements and mobile reusables in here. So if I just go into our mobile home screen, you can see straight away there's kind of like a similarity about what's shown. But there's also, we've tried to make it as native as possible, and there's a ton of logic in here to do with things like only showing certain sections when a user's logged in. So, for example, this is your profile section, and you only see that once you're logged in. And then we have a reusable on here, which is the prompt to sign in and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, look and feel is generally, you can tell it's part of the same family. But yeah, we've tried to do as much as we can with the native editor to make it feel native.
Was there a specific native mobile element that you or the team really started to rely on, or that you really fell in love with?
And the first kind of wow moment with using the native mobile stuff was just how smooth the transitions between the screens were. So for example, here, if you click on schedule and you go through to our schedule view, being able to then swipe on the left of the screen to then go back to that previous screen, and having all this built-in navigation that makes it easy to manage the states and where you are. That was amazing that Bubble just kind of handled all of that and did it out of the box, and that the actual animations themselves on both platforms, I'm probably primarily an iOS user, and it feels super smooth and native. It doesn't feel like a wrapped website at all. It properly feels like a native app. So I think that was the kind of the big wow thing that we thought when we started using the native app builder in Bubble, was just how all of those little transitions and stuff were handled behind the scenes and so easily. Was really nice.
You mentioned wow moment. Was there a particular aha moment when you were working on the logic and kind of getting the functionality up and running that really stood out for you while you were learning this editor?
In my head, I was thinking I was going to have a much bigger learning curve than I did with the mobile editor. I thought that it would be a lot to pick up, but actually it's very, very much the same as building a regular Bubble web app. And having spent years in the Bubble web editor, it was really, really quick to pick up doing stuff in native. There's a few things to learn, but it's all the same editor. And we've even copied bits from our web layouts and pasted them in here, and they've only required minimal changes to work in the native mobile app. So stuff like that was probably the wow thing for me, is just this was a lot easier than I was expecting it to be. We managed to get it together and on the app stores in under a month. I think from the beginning of getting it from working on it to it being approved on all the app stores was like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Like, it was really quick.
Switching gears just a little bit, because I'm really eager to see more of this app. What feature or view have you built into this app that you or the team is most proud of?
I think our schedule is the most impressive, and maybe I should actually just flip this into kind of preview mode to see that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That might be the best. Let me just find the right screen. So, right, I will actually just quickly sign in to this. It's worth seeing how it looks. And we did actually build a completely custom sign-in flow for the app, actually, interestingly. Because we knew that we didn't want attendees to set passwords and things like that. So we made a very quick system where we send them an email with a 4-digit PIN, which then logs them in. And then when you hit sign in, then it will log you in. You can see I'm kind of a logged in user now. Yeah, so my favorite part is the schedule. So if I just open up the schedule, you can see we've got, these are kind of placeholder topics at the moment. We're still working on all that, but we have all of our stages, so you can kind of filter by what stage you're interested in, and it will show you the talks for that stage.
That's awesome.
Another interesting thing that we've done is we've done AI-based recommendations for attendees.
I was going to ask about that. That's really cool.
Yeah. So how that works is basically when you sign up to the app or you bought a ticket to the conference, we ask a bunch of questions about what tools you use, what you want to learn, what you're interested in, and then we use a backend workflow that runs and then looks at all of our sessions and then works out for this user which ones we think they'd get the most out of, and then we show these kind of little recommendations that are tailor written to each attendee, basically. So it tells them why that we think they'd like the talk. And then you're able to build your own custom schedule, so you can kind of click heart and then that will add it to your personal plan for the day, and you can jump into the favorite section and you'll see your own lineup that you've kind of picked of your favorite sessions. So yeah, I really love this section. And the other thing is you can kind of click onto so if you want to learn more about a talk, you can click into it and then it goes into the full view of it that's on the native mobile app. And you can also dive in and learn more about a speaker. So you can open up the speaker, find them on social media, read their bio, see if they're doing any other sessions, and navigate kind of between everything. So yeah, this is kind of the core view of the app, the actual schedule itself.
Yeah, super impressive. That AI recommendation feature, because so much of that is built in the back end, is that also being implemented on the web side of things as well? How much cross-pollination are you taking advantage of? Bubble uses the same database for web and mobile. I'm curious how that's influenced your build.
Yeah, so that's something that's been super time saver with this, really. So obviously our schedule here is in the app, but the same Bubble database is obviously powering the main marketing site as well. Just how well it works, I think that it is actually a really nice surprise, because I've seen lots of different ways of making apps without being like a programmer. But I never, obviously now that Bubble's in that space as well, you can really build pretty much anything you want. So yeah, I've been really impressed by how we can use all the stuff we've already made in our back-end workflows that power the marketing site. We just hook them up to the native app, and now they're all there already. Just how everything crosses over with each other, and it's kind of one project. I wasn't really expecting that. I almost thought when Bubble launched mobile, it would be you'd have to make a separate project or something. But the fact it's there right alongside the marketing site, and it uses your same workflows, database, design elements, everything. That's probably what surprised me the most, and it's made building with it actually really fun. Because yeah, you can kind of leverage all the stuff you already know about Bubble, and just start working on an app which I never really thought I would be able to do. So it was really cool.
Anything else in your app that you want to show off and walk us through, or anything?
A couple of the other bits that we have in it are, obviously we have our directory of all our speakers, which you can kind of go through and see all the speakers and then dive into one and get their bio and find them on social media. Great thing is these LinkedIn icons here. When you click on that and you're on the iPhone, for example, it will actually open up the LinkedIn app on that person's profile, which is really nice.
That is really cool. What does a workflow like that look like?
Well, it's actually surprisingly, it's exactly the same as the web. So if I go to that view, for example, so we look at our single speaker, and on that page we have their kind of social media icons. So this is all pretty much exactly like the web. But if we want to open their LinkedIn profile, the workflow behind that, all it's actually doing is opening an external website, and then this is their LinkedIn URL. And because the LinkedIn iOS app is designed to pick up linkedin.com URLs, it will just natively open in that app. So it's actually super simple. There's nothing to it. And this works as well with like Google Maps links or X links or whatever. Like they'll open in the app, so it feels very smooth. It's very nice indeed, that. And then probably the other thing that we have that's quite cool that we wanted to do was kind of an attendee networking app. So when you sign up for the app, you kind of put in all your profile, you upload a photo, save it, and if you want to be public on our directory, you just click share your profile. And then there's only a couple of us in here at the moment. Well, I'm on the test version actually, so there's only 2. But then you get everyone's profile in here, and then you can click through and learn more about them. And then similar to what we did with Schedule, we've also got we'll have recommended connections that are done with another AI workflow. So based on other attendees who are in maybe a similar sector or have similar interests to you, we'll match you with them, and then you can open up their profile and message them through LinkedIn or X or whatever to meet up. So we've tried to make it so that the app is helping people get as much as possible out of the day, whether it's knowing what sessions to go to, meeting up with people, or even being able to find their way around the venue in a map, like stuff like that. That's effectively where we've turned on being able to zoom, and it's just a really high quality image, so you can pinch it and zoom in on the map.
What is the process of doing that? Is that just like a setting on the element? Is that a conditional, a workflow?
Yeah, so again, this is one of the things that I found was one of the different things about working with Bubble native mobile. You do get these kind of extra options in here about what controls are visible. So for example, do you show the top app bar on this page or not? Is the bottom tab bar there? And you can kind of turn them on or off, and the status bar and all that kind of stuff. And then on the actual images, there was a control on this view somewhere, disable zooming. We just have turned off, basically. So that usually we have that turned on because you don't want people to be zooming in and out on content. But for the map, we turn that off, and it's just kind of a scrollable view. So yeah, again, super simple. But this is the stuff that was a bit different to building with Bubble on the web. But again, you kind of pick this up really quick, and work out how the navigation works with the tab bars and stuff, because that's obviously a bit different than the web as well. This is all kind of built into the native kind of Bubble builder that it has this and the top nav. So once you've kind of worked out how those work, you can really, really quickly just start putting tons of screens together without too much trouble. So yeah, I've worked in kind of big companies that had iOS apps that were used by hundreds, thousands of people, and I saw like the size of the team required to make what sometimes as well was quite a simple app. So what I was really shocked about was just with one person we've been able to make a really good app and get it onto not only the iOS App Store but the Android App Store as well. It's just so much easier. So I'm really excited that the opportunities this is going to open up to really small teams, one-person teams, to be able to ship amazing apps onto the App Store, without needing a great big load of people to do it. Like we did all the QA, we tested it, we did all the design, we did all the logic. And yeah, we had the first version built in a week and a bit, which I think is, even with AI helping you, that I don't know if that's possible without doing it with Bubble. So that was really exciting to see. If you're interested in kind of meeting other people that are working in AI and visual development, to check out the createwith.com website, was we do write a weekly newsletter where we talk about all of this stuff, and we're actually going to do a teardown of how we made this app after the conference. We're going to go through everything about how we put it all together, how we did the AI kind of attendee matching, and we'll write all about that. And obviously we're launching meetups all over the world. So if you're interested in coming along and meeting up with other people building with Bubble and AI and other tools, then check out createwith.com.
James, thanks so much. Awesome to speak with you and awesome to tour your app.
Cool. Thank you.
To learn more about Create with UK, check out the links in the description. If you'd like to build your own apps in Bubble for iOS or Android, Native Mobile will be entering public beta on June 10th. We'll be hosting a launch webinar that day that you won't want to miss, so make sure to sign up for that event using the link in the description. Until then, thanks for watching.